Thanks for clicking on my video. Before we get started, please click the subscribe button so that you can get more great content such as this one. Thanks. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Tony Coleman, and today I'm going to do an unboxing of the Nokia 3.1A cell phone. Now this is a cell phone that is locked to the AT&T network, so it does have limited use cases. Let's get opening it. I will say that I've already opened one of these and have set it up as a beer money app already. It seems to work okay. Alright, so take it out of packaging. Take the sticker off. And I will say the size of the phone is basically about the same as a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. It was just a hair shorter than the Galaxy phone. I do like the build quality on it. It's not like the cheaper TCL or Alcatels. It feels like it's good construction. But also in the box you'll have your typical power brick and cable and your traditional documentation. This specific phone is only a quad core phone. It has 32 GB of internal memory, which is one of the reasons why I picked it up, because with the beer money apps they tend to go through a lot of apps. We'll see if it has any charge. Sometimes they have a charge when you get them, sometimes they don't. If it doesn't, I will have to pause the phone long enough to get a charge going. And this one does not look to have it, so I will pause the video and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the phone doing a slow charge off of my laptop at the moment. As you can see, it's booting up to the Nokia splash screen. This camera, or the camera on the phone, has an 8 megapixel rear facing camera as well as a 5 megapixel front facing, and it also comes with Android 9, so it's somewhat modern but not the latest and greatest. It does have USB-C as the charging connection, which is something I like, being that's what all the newer phones are going to. So if you're like me and you're running a lot of beer money apps, that's kind of a standard that everything's moving towards. Buying anything now means you should be planning ahead for something like that. So here we are at the typical welcome screen in the United States. So just hit let's go. Here we are. Fat fingering it. Says just a sec. Try to avoid as much of the glare off of those lights as possible. Seems like no matter where I put this, it's going to have some, so. There we are. Now it's wanting to connect to a network. So it's currently searching. I do not have phone service on this. This is just going to be booting up normal. So let me get that typed in. As soon as it's ready to give me the keyboard. Because it's trying to ask me to activate now. I'm just going to lie and say I already have service, so it'll quit annoying me with it. I have no intentions of putting phone service on this. Let's see. Helps if I don't fat finger things. There we are. Connect. It is now connecting. Or it should be. Well, that access point is full. Let me try another one. As I have about 4 different wireless networks going through my home at the moment. Okay, so it's now connecting. It says it could take a few minutes, checking for updates. This wasn't super speedy on the other phone, waiting for the updates to be checked, but kind of a necessity. Okay, so I turned that light off. Hopefully we can see better. It took, I don't know, probably about 5 minutes or so for it to get through the checking for updates, which was longer than the other one took, but it is what it is. So here they're asking to copy apps and data. I'm setting up as a new device. I don't want to copy any apps or data over. There's absolutely no need for it. For those wondering, this phone normally sells, I checked this morning on Walmart's website, they sell it for like $79.99. I picked it up in store at one of the local Walmarts in my area. They have had them on clearance lately at a lot of the Walmart stores for as low as $19.99. So I got it for about 1/4 of the normal cost. So otherwise I probably would not have picked up this model, simply because it is only a quad core and I have absolutely no need for the AT&T Prepaid service. And I believe their current policy is, in order to unlock the phone, that you need to have their service for like 6 months or something like that. So not really worth purchasing just to unlock. So here we are, the typical Google sign-in option. I will type mine in, and then I will bring it back down in a moment. Okay, so my password is in. I'm now agreeing to Google's terms. Now checking info. Alright, now here's the Google services it's asking about, for like backing up, location services, scanning, all that stuff. So hit accept. Screen lock, I'm not setting up right now, so skip anyway. There does seem like a little bit of lag on this when setting the phone up. That may be because of the phone only having currently 3% charge, so it may be trying to conserve battery. It's trying to set up the Google Assistant information. For whatever reason, it's struggling with the Wi-Fi. Now here it is, access your assistant with voice match. I'm not going to set that up. Again, I'm just using this for beer money apps, so not really needing to do a whole lot with it. So no thanks for anything else. Adding the finishing touches. Basically, it's finishing the initial settings. Okay, so it's done doing that setting. So now it's asking about Wi-Fi again. Don't need to, I'm already connected, so just next. It says personalizing. This is more like the AT&T setups. Don't really need to, because I'm not going to use the AT&T app. Now it says to get apps, so it's basically coming up with suggestions. These are mainly the AT&T suggested apps from their store. I'm just going to hit no on all of these because I really don't want all their extra garbage. So skip. Now it's asking to like transfer contacts, photos, videos, all that stuff from your previous phone. I don't need to, so skip. Set up your device and transfer content anytime in the setup and transfer app. Yeah, thanks a lot. Don't care. Hit exit. Nearly ready to go. Well, let's go. That's agreeing to the experience program. It's okay to do, especially on a beer money app, because they're not really going to find a whole lot of details other than money making apps. So here it is, trying to load up the desktop. Again, I want to stress that the reason it's sluggish is probably because it's now just up to 4% battery. Most phones will throttle whenever they get below a certain threshold, so don't be concerned about how slow my device is actually looking right now. But once we're in here, obviously you can go in and set up, download, do whatever you got to do. The phone itself is a decent phone. For $20, it's a really good phone. I would not pay $80 for it these days, because there are a lot better phones out there that you can get for that price range. But if you're in need of an AT&T phone prepaid, it would probably suffice. I've heard some people asking whether it will work on other networks like T-Mobile and all that. All I can say is it is not unlocked, so your mileage may vary on any of that. But so looking through apps, I really don't need to go through them. I'm more interested in going to settings, so I don't want mine to auto update. So the first thing I usually do is go and turn off auto updates. This particular phone will be one of them that I will test Cache Magnet with. I know Cache Magnet's been around for a while, but it never hurts to get an up-to-date review. My testing has shown that you definitely want a 16 gigabyte or larger internal memory for your phone. If you have less than that, you're going to have lots of problems. Also, I recommend 2 gigabyte or more of RAM in the phone. But as far as processor goes, it really isn't that big of a deal, whether you have a quad-core, octa-core. I doubt you see too many dual cores anymore that have the other requirements, but if you do, dual core will probably be fine. So, but that's pretty much it. This phone is sleek. It feels well built. It does have your headphone jack on the top. That's kind of important to some people, because some phones require an adapter through the USB-C, which obviously means you can't charge the phone while you're listening to music. But overall, I would say it's a decent phone. Activation would probably go a little smoother if you waited for your battery to have a full charge. This doesn't seem to have a ton of bloat, but I have noticed that it does have the AT&T stuff pretty much all grouped together in theirs, and then there's one for Google on the other screen. You swipe up to see all your other apps. Not a whole lot of apps installed previously, but pretty sleek, pretty simple. I think it'll be a good addition to the phone farm. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I do reply to people quite a bit, usually within a day. So if you have any concerns about it, or maybe if there's something that you know about the phone that I haven't mentioned, or that you think others would be glad to hear, feel free to also put those comments in the section down below. But if there's anything in the video you think was inaccurate, I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you. But until next time, have a good one.